Hello heroes, we're back. The developer direct, alongside the interviews Playground Games founder and general manager Ralph Fulton conducted with IGN and Xbox Wire, revealed a lot of information. A lot to break down, explore and theorize. It is clear Playground has used the original trilogy as the foundation for the world and it feels faithful. This video is for fans old and new of the Fable series. I won't be going through the video chronologically. Instead, I've broken it down into chapters, the timestamps for which are below. Let's start with the story. Albion is a land of fantasy and fairy tales, and that is what this world is, the setting of a fairy tale story. This tale will begin just like Fable and Fable 2, as a child with an inciting event that sets up the rest of the story. This reboot begins in the sleepy, rural village of Briar Hill. The name Briar is also a nice nod to a hero from Fable 1, Briar Rose. While Albion is a land of magic and wonder, with heroes and villains, there has not been a hero born in a generation. Our character, as a child in Briar Hill, lives with their grandmother. This is a slight step away from the original trilogy, in which every hero had a sibling that was crucial to the story to come. We're told of two important moments that happen in the childhood section. An attack of some sort on the village reveals our protagonist to have heroic gifts. The second, the village is attacked again and all of the population are turned to stone by a mysterious stranger, including the hero's grandmother. Now, from the interviews, Ralph has said that the last conversation the grandmother has with her grandchild was her explaining that the Heroes Guild is where great heroes live, and if you ever need help, they're the people to go to. It's likely she told them this after they displayed these gifts. With the population of the village turned to stone, our hero's quest begins. Travel to the Heroes Guild and free the villagers from stone. This is a great setup for the story, but there are questions. The developer direct pointed out that a hero has not been born or shown themselves in a generation.
Growing up in the sleepy rural village of Briar Hill. It's here that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge, and we discover that you are Albion's first hero in a generation.
Two things here. The first is that the stone attack on Briar Hill happens after our hero first displays their heroic gifts as a child. The second is that we see our hero interact with another hero of a similar age in adulthood.
I'm a hero. I should do what I want.
That means we're not the only hero to have shown heroic potential in this generation. There are more. The Humphrey trailer revealed that he was Albion's greatest hero, retired. This developer direct tells us he is the Guildmaster.
As you discover the secrets of the Heroes Guild and its reclusive Guildmaster, Humphrey the Golden.
Either he was chosen for the role and once trained Albion's greatest heroes, or he took on the task in a world with dwindling heroes. It would also explain his jaded and pretty much defeated nature. Humphrey's trailer focused on setting up the villain of the story, a female hero he trained but turned on him.
Thought I'd get her out there, make the most of her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove. I tell you, this kid, she had it all. The skill, the talent, the power. She was something else, all right. She was terrifying. So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey. She's back.
My theory is that something she did reawakened the heroic bloodline somehow and came to Briar Hill to find our protagonist for some reason. As the direct made it a point to mention that there have been no new heroes in a generation and that we live with our gran. It could be leading to the villain being our mother or something. I hope it's not that though. So what we have from the story so far is that our small village is attacked. We travel to the Heroes Guild to train and defeat the villain that ruined our childhood. as the original trilogy has been used as the foundation of this reboot. I like that it seems to follow the same structure of Fable 1. Since the developer direct, I have seen fans ask the question, when and where is it set in the Fable timeline? The IGN interview revealed exactly what this is. Fable is a reboot. It has no narrative connection to the original trilogy, but Playground has taken bits and pieces from it to establish their own lore. This is a brand new timeline, but with familiar elements. The developer direct shows us that Bowerstone, Bloodstone, and the Heroes Guild all exist in the same era. In the original trilogy, the Heroes Guild was burned down by a population frustrated with heroes. In this reboot, the Heroes Guild appears to have been built within Bowerstone as a part of the city. This reboot has taken the lore from the different eras of the original trilogy but has adapted it through Playground's lens. They are making a Playground Games Fable game, not recreating a Lionhead Studios Fable game. This gives the reboot a faithful foundation to be built on. This is a new beginning based on the much-loved trilogy. At the center of this game is a question. What does it mean to you to be a hero? From what we've seen so far, and we'll explore later in this video, this game is catered around the player and how their actions impact the land and its inhabitants. Playground finally revealed that we will be able to choose our hero from a selection of character heads. While this does not have the customization of games like Skyrim or Baldur's Gate, this character head idea is actually more faithful to the original trilogy. In the first, we were not given a choice at all of who we played as. In the second and third, we picked male or female. It was only when the game began properly that we picked up scars, tattoos, hairstyles, and clothing to customize what we had, to create some monstrosities. We also got a pretty good insight into combat. Our hero will be gifted, just like the original, in the disciplines of strength, skill, and will. Strength will affect how capable the hero is with different weapon types and sizes. Skill showed the hero with a bow and crossbow. So far, we have not seen one gun. For me, this is a good sign. The part I was excited about was the will abilities. We saw spells being cast like Fireball, Lightning, Blades, and a transformation spell. The icons for the unused spells also showed a feather, wind spell, and possibly a teleport spell. Fireball, Lightning, and Blades are all abilities from previous Fable games. It'd be nice to see if they brought back the Time Slow or Assassin's Rush spell too. What was impressive was the direct showed the ability to seamlessly cycle between the disciplines, a feature Playground have called weapon weaving. I'm not a massive fan of finisher moves, but this one looked cool. This developer direct treated us to the stunning visuals of Albion and gave us the names of the locations we'll be exploring. In the IGN interview, Ralph Fulton also explains that every part of Albion has been handcrafted with things to explore. While the hero is free to travel to the Heroes Guild and continue the story, they are also free to explore the completely open world and check out every nook and cranny. There is no power level locking, you can go anywhere you want. Every building across the land has an interior you can look at and steal from. You can buy them and move in with your family. The direct showed us rolling hills and magical forests around settlements. Upton Labines, Briar Hill, Silverbrook, Bloodstone, and Bowerstone are the names that have been revealed. The most we saw of was Bowerstone. Just like the original trilogy, Bowerstone is once again the capital city of Albion and its iconic clock tower is back. What is really interesting is that the castle is also called Fairfax Castle. In Fable 2, Fairfax Castle was home to the Fairfax family and the main antagonist, Lucian. He sought to destroy the world and rebuild it after his family was taken away. I wonder if Playground Games will keep Lucian in some capacity or put a completely different Fairfax family in the castle. As these are clearly fans of the original series, I just know that when we have enough gold, we'll be able to purchase this castle. Bowerstone itself has also been split into different regions. We were shown the Bowerminster district and the Butterfield Market, each one with their own population, stores and homes to purchase, rent out and hire staff. In terms of owning property, we see here a very nicely decorated children's room. It feels lived in, more personal and handcrafted. I thought maybe we may have the ability to properly decorate the houses we own, and then I saw this. The minimap shows Dartmoor's toy store with this icon. I think this is just one of many stores we can purchase from for specific items. A child's room needs a child's room store. This is a fancier toy shop though, so I think for the different types of items you can buy, there will be different quality types depending on the economy of the region the store is in. Dartmoor's also has items outside on display that are in the player's home. There's also icons for a bookstore, ironworks, notice board, and I think this is either an inn or a potion shop. To the north of Albion are mountains, coastlines, marshes, and the city of Bloodstone. Another familiar name. Bloodstone was one of the darker places in Fable 2. Home to the morally corrupt and legendary hero, Reaver. In this reboot, we can see it looks similar, but other than that, we don't know a lot. It should also be noted that in the original trilogy, Bloodstone was located to the south. We're told that Bloodstone is home to two rival gangs and the sinister cult of Shadows. Another reference. In Fable 2, the Shadow Court was a tomb located in the awful region of Wraith Marsh, near Bloodstone. One home to the Shadow Court who sucked the youth from innocence and gave it to Reaver so that he could stay young. The Cult of Shadows could once again just be a reference to the Shadow Court, but it would be nice if it returned in some fashion. If Playground are reusing names or locations, we need to revisit Oakvale. This was my favourite part of the entire Direct, a living world. The best part about games like Oblivion and Skyrim were that the world felt alive. The people moved around and navigated the regions with their own jobs and daily habits. Fable has been handcrafted with over 1,000 fully voiced characters that all have their own homes, daily routines, and moral opinions. The player, through their actions, can completely change their lives. We were shown that, just like in the original trilogy, we can get jobs like blacksmithing. From these earnings, we can buy as many houses as we want, if we have the money. From there, we can hire workers at stores and evict people if we don't want them to live in a house anymore. Evicting someone doesn't just remove them from the game, they are living characters in this world and will have to find somewhere else to sleep, and it's clear they'll remind us of their dislike. Some of my core memories from Fable 2 were chopping wood and bartending. That nostalgia is present here. Through our interactions with these people, they form opinions on us based on their own moral compass. These are living characters in a world filled with life. This interface shows us that we can date them, have sex. I think this is to move in together, have a child, and get married. I guess in whatever order we want. Just like the original trilogy, actions have consequences. This morality system, however, is different to what we are used to. To some, morality is subjective. While the original Fable has actions as black and white, good and bad, the living population each have their own views on what is acceptable or not. To one person, kicking a chicken is bad. To another, it's good. Each of these people will interact with us based on what they've witnessed or heard about us. As long as an action is witnessed by someone, that person will adjust their view. In the original trilogy, we basically had a good-bad scale. You do bad things, even if no one sees them, and you slowly morph into a devil archetype, and the opposite for good actions. From Ralph's IGN interview, he said they have adjusted this system. Each settlement has their own reputation system. You could be seen as a bit of a dick by the population of Silverbrook, but be liked in Bowerstone. This reputation and name then affects how people treat you. Names on the street, adjustment of prices at stores, and so on. You can also pay the town crier to put a spin on your reputation. I have seen discourse online about how older fans do not like this change, but as someone who wants to fully dive into a world, I like the idea that I can commit an awful action in one location but no one is aware of it in another. It feels realistic that not everybody knows everything that's happened. People treat you how they themselves perceive you in the local community. Get married, have kids, get divorced, buy businesses, hire people, build an empire, fire people, work hard, be a gold-pinching landlord. So many options. Even the mention of a consequence of your actions in a side quest. If you kill Dave the Giant, his body remains there for the rest of the game and affects local house prices. It's the small details I love. Everything you do impacts the world, and that question the game is focused around comes back. What does it mean to you to be a hero? Just a small section on the creatures that were shown in the developer direct. We have rideable horses, fairies, a white ballerine being painted onto what could be a decorative tapestry. I wanted to point this out because not all Glade in Fable 1 was plagued by the ballerine population. Inside of their homes were really nice tapestries showing their history and struggles. Could these environmental set designs return? The white ballerine was also a very strong enemy in Fable. We also have the renamed Hollowmen as Hollowfolk. It does sound more fairy tale-esque. Bandits, these cool looking lantern things, and hobs. As Playground Games have kept hobs and are using and adapting the original lore, I do hope they keep the dark tale of their creation, of children lost in the woods, transformed by dark magic. The cockatrices look interesting and I cannot wait to see more. Each creature also has their own abilities, strengths, tactics, and weaknesses. In the IGN interview, Ralph was asked about whether the hero gets a dog. Sadly, the answer is no. It's clear so much thought has been put into this, and Playground says there is so much more to show. Some of my final thoughts. This is a Playground Games take on Fable. They have taken bits and pieces from the original trilogy and have crafted a more elevated fairy tale Fable in a living, breathing world. I'm really impressed with what they have shown so far. Overall, this feels like a perfect tribute to the original series with classic British humour, and those talking head The Office interview styles are said to actually be in the game. This developer direct also seemed to address most of the concerns and questions the internet had about the playable character. I looked at every frame and sadly did not see a demon door. I hope Playground is just hiding that from us. They have said that there is so much more to show before the release in autumn of 2026. Concerns? The only things I'm concerned about currently is that there was no blood shown in the combat sections, and while the music so far is okay, I'd like to hear more. The Fable trilogy is known for its iconic soundtrack. I've played it in this video. The combat also looks clunky. I'm hoping it comes out smoother the more we see. And finally, the Steam page lists this as single player. I'm hoping this is something that will change. Some of my favourite Fable moments have been in co-op. I would also love a remastered trilogy or an official port of Fable 2 on the PC. It's unrealistic, I guess, but Xbox could do something incredible here. I am very optimistic about everything we've been shown so far. We sadly live in a time of extreme negativity and rage farming is rewarded. I just wanted to explore this direct and the interviews as a person who loves video games. I also hope this video answered some of those questions the community has. I actually threw together a script the night of the developer direct. I even recorded the voiceover for it, but it felt too rushed. While it's nice to be one of the first people to get your opinion out there, I really didn't want to throw something together just to beat the algorithm. I wanted to take my time to put something together that was made by a passionate Fable fan for Fable fans. I also want to shout out my buddy Logan who sent me the interviews while I was writing this originally. They're linked below and they are absolutely worth a read. That was everything I wanted to say. Until next time.